There you go, that's a bit of a budget one. That's our cauliflower sweet and sour, Chinese style. Just look at that, and that ain't chicken. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're making a Chinese. We're making a sweet and sour, but it ain't chicken, it's cauliflower. That rhymes. Okay, it's an easy one. Now, I'm not one of those that says cauliflower tastes better than meat, etc. That is a load of cobblers. Cauliflower's cauliflower, meat is meat. However, you don't always have to make a sweet and sour with chicken or pork or shrimp or anything. You can make it with cauliflower. In here, self-raising flour. I'm going to add a little bit of white pepper to that. I'm going to chuck in a little bit of salt. If you're using self-rising flour in the States, it has salt in, so be careful. And we want to make that into a batter. Of course we do. And we're just eyeballing it. We want a nice batter, like a thick double cream, something like that. Too thick, look. It's absolutely too thick. Come on. And if you go too thin, more flour. Obviously, if it's too thick, more water. Okay, that's there, look. We're not bothered about any lumps in there. Let that rehydrate. Okay, we got a little bit of onion. Now, I've got these tiny, tiny onions, okay? If you have a big onion, fantastic. That's all we're doing. And we're going to break up the segments. Just makes it easier when we stir fry. Okay, just break them up in there. Now I've got a red bell pepper or capsicum pepper, whatever you know it by. So nice and steady. We want that dicing. Now you can chuck all this in with that red onion. A little bit of green onion going in here. Now you can use green capsicum if you want. I want green onion, some for garnish, and some for in there. Just a little bit different on the sweet and sour. Okay, and we're just going to do that, look. And that is going in there. Just like that. So we'll have a little bit to garnish over the top. Stick that lot in a bowl. There's quite a lot there actually, but not to worry. We can chuck it all over, no problem. Cauliflower. Cauliflower weighs about 800 grams, 700-800 grams. We do not want the stalk. That is up to you. And there's going to be the people that say, the stalk has got all the flavour. And I'm going to say, enjoy. Okay, for cauliflower, we want in some florets. Now you want to keep them roughly the same size. And obviously, the different sizes, so they're not all going to be the same size, but try to keep them roughly the same. Okay. The only other little bit of chopping we're going to do in a minute is some tinned pineapple. We're just going to cut them across, and we're going to use the pineapple juice in our sauce. In fact, let's make our sauce. In there, ketchup. This is a rice vinegar. We'll have that pineapple juice in there actually. A little bit of soy sauce. So we got our sour element there. We're going to go in there with some brown sugar. We're going to give that a mix up. And that is our sweet and sour sauce. Now what we have got here, we've got a tablespoon of corn flour in there, and we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of water to that to make a corn flour slurry, cornstarch slurry, and that will be our thickening. Now yes, you can just put it straight in here if you want, that's up to you. So that is our sweet and sour sauce. So what we need to do is actually blanch our cauliflower. So we're going to stick the kettle on, we're going to get some boiling water, we're going to chuck that cauliflower in there. You can salt this if you want, it's not necessary, in there with our cauliflower. Now we want to blanch this for about 2 minutes, that is all. That'll do, we don't need to go crackers on this. That comes out, okay, and it's going to air dry in there. In a tray, anything. We just want it to sit there, cool itself down and air dry. So that's our cauli, just let it cool in there. Let it cool down, let it steam off, and then we can put that in the batter and we can fry. Okay, we're straightforward on this. We just need to heat up some oil and we're going to fry that cauli. So what we're going to do is dump that cauliflower in our batter. We're going to deep fry it, we're going to take it out, we're going to rest it on a rack. So for all those people wanting to use a thermometer for the oil, it's about 175, 180 it wants to get to. I just wait to see that nice little shimmer on there. So while that's coming up to temperature, I'm just going to drop my cauliflower florets in there. Let that batter get inside that cauliflower. Fabulous. When you've got a little shimmer on that oil, in there with your cauli. A nice little turning over in there if you can, if we haven't stuck it all together. So a nice little tinging on there. Okay, when you've had a little bit on there, you can take it out and we can refry if you so wish, if you want it darker, on our rack. You can hear those, they're crunchy. Some drop down, I'll pick them up in a minute. Now the beauty about a batter like this, cauliflower breaks up, of course it does. But with the batter, and you put it into fry, it holds together. So all those bits like that, look, in there. So these have been sat on there a little while. I'm just going to dump those in there. Okay, this next lot are going to go on there. We're going to cool it down for a couple of minutes. I want to eat that. Oh yeah. We're going to cool it down for a couple of minutes and we're going to refry very quickly to get a nice golden crunch on there. But it is crunchy already. Okay, we're just going to take those out of there. I might not take as many this time. I'm going to be juggling on there. Listen to that. Come on. So when you've had a couple of minutes and you've warmed your oil back up again, we're going to give these a final crunch in there. So you're going for the colour that you want this time, okay? If you want it really dark brown, golden, just fry it longer. We're coming out in a second. I think that's got it for me. Let's have those out of there. Oh, listen to that. Awesome. There you go, just like a Chinese. Now, I've got the rack inside this tray this time. And what we're trying to do is not pile them all on top of each other so they do not steam. There you go, look at that lot. Let's crack on. So, a little bit of oil in a pan. In there, onions and pepper. Little izzy wizzy. Nice colour there, look. Beautiful. Nice little minute on there. We're just trying to soften it a little bit. We don't really want any tinge on there, but if you do, it's fine. Chuck in some green. Chuck in your pineapple. There you go. There's the sweet and sour flavours right there, look. So we want to make up our sauce. Of course we do. Now you don't cook this too long like this because you're going to chuck in the sauce and cook it with the sauce. So it's going to soften a little bit more with the sauce. We don't want it mush. In there, our sweet and sour sauce. Get a little sizzle whizzle on there. Now you're going to decide, do you chuck all your cauli back in here in a minute? If you do, you're going to risk softening it all up. Cornstarch slurry, 1 table of cornstarch corn flour, 2 tablespoons of water. So we just want a minute or so on there just to cook that flavour in there basically. Our sugar and our vinegars. Bring it all together. There's a pan full of colour right there, look at that. A little bit of that cornstarch slurry in there. Let's start to thicken it. Decide how thick you actually want this, it's up to you. That's what I want right there, flame off. Now, decide what you're going to do. Do you want some of that in there? And it will soften, 100% guaranteed. So, you know, you can put some in, save some to go on the plate, and just mix it all in. Okay, it's your choice. Quick chuck of those onions on there like that. And you can do all the sesame seeds if you want, that's up to you. There you go. Let's get that served up. On there, green onions. There you go, that's a bit of a budget one. That's our cauliflower, sweet and sour, Chinese style. Just look at that, and that ain't chicken. There you go, an absolutely fabulous, fabulous dish. And yes, this is still crunchy. These ones, the ones that have been soaked in sauce are not crunchy in there. Look at that. I mean, if you saw that, would you think it was chicken? You would, but it ain't. There you go, it ain't chicken. That is amazing. A nice sweet and sour sauce, a quick one. Very crunchy vegetables. We got that nice crunchy batter on the cauliflower that hasn't been covered in sauce. Oh yeah. That is absolutely fantastic. You know, obviously I'm a meat eater, but you know, something like this is tremendous. Even though I'm chucking it all on the floor. Oh, it's all on here, look. It's absolutely tremendous. Looks like chicken. It's got crunchy batter, sweet and sour sauce. There you go. That's an easy one. Budget meal right there. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make sweet and sour cauliflower. And if you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video. Amazing.